There certainly were many claims made, especially about the economy, so let's take a look at some of those now. In his opening remarks, Anthony Albanese had this to say about inflation.
You all know that the cost of everything is going up, but your wages aren't.
While it is correct to say that broadly costs are going up faster than wages, not everything has increased in price. Inflation is at 3.5%, higher than wages increases at 2.3%, but some things have dropped in price. Healthcare has fallen in the last year, and clothing and shoes and communication have steadily fallen. Overall, though, the cost of living is outstripping wages growth. Sticking with the economy, here's another claim, this time from Mr Morrison.
When we went into the pandemic, we were facing the biggest economic crisis we had seen since the Great Depression. To give you an example, the economic recession that we went through because of the pandemic was 30 times worse than what occurred during the global financial crisis. 30 times worse.
The PM first made this claim last year, comparing the size of the GDP contractions during the GFC and the pandemic. But the economic experts we spoke to said it was confusing and a misleading use of data, essentially comparing apples and oranges. They said a more conventional assessment would likely find the pandemic recession was twice the size of the GFC. And here's another claim from Anthony Albanese.
Before the pandemic had hit, it's important to remember that they had already doubled the debt before the pandemic had hit.
Now, while it is correct that in dollar figures for gross debt doubled and net debt increased even more between 2013 and the start of the pandemic, it's not the whole story. A fairer comparison should take into account the changing size of the economy, and this chart shows gross and net debt as a proportion of GDP. By this measure, gross debt grew by 65% and net debt by 85%. And a final quick one from the PM.
In Fiji, we vaccinated the entire country so their economy can be opening up again.
Not quite correct. While Australia did supply the vast majority of Fiji's vaccinations at 1.6 million doses, some of those were delivered in conjunction with UNICEF and New Zealand, and the US, the UK, India and Japan all gave around 300,000 doses in total. For all the details and more fact checks claims, head to the Fact Check website.